Hey guys, I'm Goldie and I am super excited to finally say that the new expansion pack is out. And with it we got a ton of balance changes as well for the standard units. So I thought about running the patch down and sharing my thoughts about the buffs and nerfs of this balance update. So without any further ado, let's get into the patch notes. Okay, so when you launch up the game, you're gonna be greeted by this new announcement. So we got a new expansion pack with 56 brand new pets, custom packs with some even more new pets, and a weekly pack which basically is generated every Monday and contains pets from all of the 3 packs that are in the game now. This is what I mostly play nowadays just because it's super chaotic and a lot of fun just to discover new strategies that combine all of the pets. It's pretty fun. So let's see, we got the expansion pack 2, custom packs and weekly. So if we go to pets now, you can see that we got all the new stuff. So expansion pack 2 is $10 now. The weekly pack is free, and the custom packs are definitely free, and you can use all the units even if you have not bought the expansion packs. Okay, let's see what other new features we have. We have a new pack option for the private versus. We are able to now force everyone to use the same pack, which means no more cheaters for our versus lobbies. We got a new life loss option to private versus per pet with cap. So basically, if you defeat someone and you have 3 units left, he's gonna lose 3 HP. I think that is how it works. And a new time option to private versus, scaling time. So basically in the beginning you're gonna have less time, and as the game goes on and you're gonna have to think more, I guess you're just gonna have more time to do so. I did a ready player count after ending turn your versus. Oh, that's cool. An option to hide email. More round and objective options. Honestly, this is the hidden MVP of this patch, man. The new team names are just amazing now. You're gonna see them. And a survey to allow players to vote on pets that should be changed. Honestly, I really love this. And to access that, you just need to go to feedback and pet vote, and you can just choose 3 units that you need that are in needs of a buff or a nerf, I guess. You can do this once a month, I think. So definitely go and do this after you've experimented with all the new pets, or just you can definitely just choose the standard units. Okay, so now into the actual balance changes. Let's see. We got a decent amount of changes in this patch. So most of them are short and straightforward, but they are definitely making a difference as well. So let's start. Beaver is now 3-2. It used to be 2-2, so it got a +1 attack buff. Not too significant, but I really like the fact that now we have a powerful unit that does not have 2 HP in the tier 1. I honestly don't really like it now either, because I honestly prefer a 2-3 over a 3-2, just because a 3-2 is still vulnerable to a 2-1 end or just a 1-1 cricket that summons a zombie cricket. I would just go for a more reliable 3 HP unit. So there you go. It's still a buff. Makes the beaver a little bit better, I guess. Okay, we got the duck, which got a +1 attack buff as well. I think duck is statistically the best unit in the tier 1 now, in terms of stats. I mean, that's what statistically means. And its ability is still the same, which kind of sucks, but it does have the best stats now. There you go. Fish finally got a nerf, a much needed nerf. It got a -1 HP nerf. I really like this because the fish still has good stats, but it definitely has the best tier 1 ability. The fish did not need to have the best stats and the best ability as well. I'm really happy they nerfed the fish's HP. It's a good move. Okay, we got an Otter ability change. Let's see. Give 1, 2, 3 random friends +1/+1. So at level 2 it gives 2 friends a 1/1 buff instead of just 1 friend a +2/+2 buff. I like it. I think it's a healthy change, because the way the other was abused kinda was just running only 2 units or just selling all of your units to make sure the big buff goes onto your biggest unit. Basically funneling all of the other buffs onto one big fish used to be the case, but it can still work now, but this is not as reliable. I like it. It's a good change. Just makes your team overall better. But I mean, technically did not get a nerf in terms of stats. It's more spread out now. I like it. It's a good change. Pig is now 4-1 instead of 3-1. Still dies to a mosquito, still dies to an ant, still dies to other units. I mean, I guess it kills two combined dogs, a 3-4 dog in one shot, so there's that, but it's still risky to run. Okay. a Bluebird change. Let's see. And turn, give a random friend +1 attack. So it used to be giving the leftmost friend +1 attack. So I guess this makes it worse because you cannot control who gets the +1 attack buff, but I still like it because before this change, the Bluebird kind of forced you to have awkward positioning in your team, like keeping a big unit in the back. Now you can just keep it in your team, and if you lack attack, eventually the Bluebird's gonna make up for that. I think it's an interesting change. I definitely found myself using the Bluebird more now in the weekly packs that it was in a couple weeks ago. Okay, Beetle, to eat shop food, give the leftmost shop pet +1 HP. So I think this ability was give the whole shop +1 HP. So it's basically a nerf. Yeah, it's technically a nerf because you get less HP buffs, but people only cared about buffing only one unit anyway, so I think Beetle's kinda the same now, still pretty bad. Okay, crab to start the battle, copy 50% health from the most healthy friend. Okay, so the crab doesn't copy once and then that's it. Now it copies every fight, and it is pretty bad at level 1, but I guess if you get a level 2 which copies 100%, you get a new healthy crab each fight. So I think it starts off really bad, but if you commit to it and get at least a level 2, then that should be a fine unit. Okay, let's see. This is a really big change, the new elephant. Before attack, deal 1 damage to the friend behind and repeat 1, 2 or 3 times. So no more hitting once to 1, 2 or 3 friends behind. Now it just hits only the single unit behind it once, twice or 3 times, which is incredible. It's actually a really big buff. I don't think it makes elephant too strong late game, but it's definitely a really big buff to it. Like if you use this with a camel, you get 3 camel buffs on the unit behind it, like from just 1 elephant shot. It's pretty powerful. It's definitely worth giving a try. It's pretty good now. Okay, Flamingo got a buff as well, surprisingly. It's not 3-1 anymore, it is now 4-2. Pretty cool, doesn't die to random snipes. Good attack to kill the unit in front. Yeah, it's a decent unit now. You can always use a pill on it, so I usually take it. Okay, this is a pretty big buff as well. Peacock to hurt, gain +4 attack. So how it used to work was it was getting +50% attack with 1 or 2 or 3 charges depending on its level. But now it just gains +4, +8 or +12 attack, which is honestly too much. We've had some time to test this around for like 1 or 2 weeks, and I honestly think it's too strong. It should have been like +2, maybe would have been too small. +3, I guess, or give it just 1 charge. No, it's honestly pretty nasty. If you stack HP on it, then it basically becomes a monster. You'll see. It is actually really strong now. Okay, Dromedary, enter and give the 2 leftmost shop pets +1/+1. Okay, so basically a nerf because it used to be buffing the whole shop, and now it only buffs 2 units, but it's fine because you didn't care about buffing the whole shop. Usually people just freeze 1 or 2 units and keep them for the Dromedary, so it's kind of the same thing. Okay, dog got a small buff, a +1/+1. I think it's cool because we do not have goldfish in the standard pack. I think it's a good change. Might make the dog usable in standard as well. Ooh, rabbit got a pretty big nerf. Wow. -2 attack. It's 101 too. Wow. Actually, that really hurts the rabbit, man. You definitely have to use Meatbone on it if you wanna keep it in your team. But -2 attack is really bad because the rabbit can gain HP, but it kinda sucks in terms of attack. Most of the time it just gets hit by random salad bowls, and that's how it gains a +1, +2, I guess, but it will be pretty hard to make up for this -2 attack. Kinda sucks, but I think it's still a fine unit. If you get a fast Meatbone, it should be okay. Okay, a Badger Nerf finally, man. Honestly, this is one of the reasons I kept my hands off standard pack for the past month. I was sick of dying to Badgers, man, and some other units, but we'll get to them later, I guess. Okay, so Badger used to be 5-4, now it's 5-3. And the Feint ability deals 50% damage now instead of 100% attack damage. So it basically got the Dodo treatment. It now hits for 50%, 100%, and 150% level 3 instead of 100, 200, and 300%. It is a pretty big nerf, but I think Badger is still a good unit. You just need to commit to it and get at least level 2, and just give it some attack buffs. Level 1 is not too dangerous, but it's still annoying. Most of the time it doesn't get to kill stuff with only 50% attack damage, just cause 5 attack is not too much anyway, so I think it's balanced now. It was definitely too strong. Hey, Giraffe got a -1 HP nerf. Okay, that was unexpected. It didn't have good stats. I think it's cool. I like it. You still gotta use Meatbone on it, I guess. Camel 2/6 and right, give +2/+2 to a friend behind. Okay, so I got +1 buff, and the +1 buff on its ability used to be +2/+1. Now it's a +2/+2, much more reliable, I guess. You can use it on anyone instead of using it on units without attack and good HP, because it was giving more attack than HP. Might not seem like much, but the +1 HP and the +1 on the buff is actually pretty significant. I've used it a decent amount of times on the test build, and it's actually pretty powerful now, especially with the new elephant. It's a pretty good unit, especially with the +1 HP. That, because most of the time it does make a difference on like round 3, 4, or 5 when it becomes available. Okay, Ox to 1v and to friend ahead feints get melon +1 attack. So -1 HP and -1 attack on the buff. Pretty good. Ox was definitely pretty annoying to deal with and really strong, so I'm really happy it got this. It was already gaining a melon. There was no reason to make it gain a lot of attack. Well, now it hits for 2, and I guess now you really gotta use pills in the shopping phase to stack some attack on it. I like it. Pretty well deserved nerf, honestly. Hey, Lobster Change. Let's see. The Lobster was unusable. Let's see if anything got changed. Lobster to friend someone outside the bell. Give it +2/+3. Wow. The Lobster was horrible, and all they did was buff its buff by +1 HP. Honestly, they should have just kept the buff to +2/+2, but make it usable in fight as well, just like a turkey. But then I guess it would just be a worse turkey, so not that interesting. They should have just made this buff a little bit bigger, man. It's a really bad unit. Still unusable. Okay, another big one. Bison to 4/4 from 6/6. This is a really good nerf, because the Bison already had really good stats. It's a tier 4 with 6/6 stats. It was too much. Most of the time, if you got an early Bison on round 5, but even on round 7 when it becomes naturally available and you got one from a roll, it had good enough stats to take it even if you didn't have a level 3 in your team, which was definitely not how it was supposed to work. This unit is supposed to be bad if you do not have a level 3, so making it have bad stats and needing to scale with the level 3 just makes sense now. No more taking the Bison as a raw stats unit even if you don't have a level 3. I like it. Good change. And if you have an early level 3 unit, a -2/-2 is not gonna matter that much because it scales pretty fast. Okay, now we got a Hippo change. Knockout game +3/+3. Okay, so this is a buff. It got a +1/+1 on its ability, which honestly makes a really huge difference. I've played with this for like the past days, and I've actually have a video ready about it, but I'm probably gonna try to get a new one. And I was shocked by how much of a difference this +1/+1 makes. If the Hippo gets a kill now, it's probably gonna kill like 2 or 3 more units, just because this buff is actually so good. And with a Garlic, no, Hippo is actually a really good mid-game unit now. Still bad late game because it's probably gonna kill 1 unit and die as well, or just kill 2 units and then die. But mid game, this ability is actually really good. Penguin. Entering, give 3 level 2 and level 3 friends +1/+1 events. So it does not buff 4 units anymore, just buffs 3 units. I guess it's a good nerf. I like it. It's a nerf, so I guess it can't hurt. The Penguin was obscenely powerful. Still pretty good. I guess you could go for double Penguin now to buff everyone. Kinda. Okay, I like the change. We'll see how powerful it's gonna be. I have no clue because this was not in the beta patch. This is new. Okay, Parrot from 6-3 to 4-2. Okay, this change has been on the beta patch for like a couple weeks for sure, and I have not used the Parrot too much ever since. The stats are so bad. The Parrot is a pretty niche unit. It can be amazing, but most of the time it's not. Like, it cannot copy too many abilities. It can only copy like snipes, start of turn abilities, or feint abilities, which makes it most of the time unusable, honestly. And now they just nerfed its stats, so... And the 4-2 stats is really bad for a tier 4 as well. I'm not sure if it's gonna see too much play now, but who knows. Squirrel to start of turn, add 1 shop food and discount them by 1, 2, 3 gold. Okay, honestly this is really exciting because I've been wanting to have a unit that adds shop food for a long time. It's pretty exciting for me. I don't know why, but I think it's definitely more powerful now. It basically does the same thing, but it adds 1 shop food as well, so it's pretty cool. I like it. I think it's finally decent. Just more options at the beginning of the round, I guess. Hey, there you go, and the Worm buff as well. Worm used to be a 1-1, I think, or maybe a 2-2. No, it was a 1-1, and now we got a +2/+2 buff, which is basically 2 ability buffs for free, kinda. It just starts off faster, I guess. It's pretty good because Worm builds are not strong right now. It's a good change. I like it. Buffalo to 4-4 and to buy friend. Gain +1/+1 with only 3 charges. Okay, so -1/-1 and only 3 charges per round. Okay. I usually am against charges on abilities because it kind of ruins the fun. Like, I really hated when they added charges to the fly because it basically, like, without charges it basically made you go for as many summon units as you could just to get the million flies, right? But with charges, and this is basically the same thing, you just try to fit in as many units, try to buy as many units as you could in one shopping phase. And with the charges now, I mean, I definitely get it, because a 1-1 for like 6 or 7 times or 5 times every shopping phase was definitely too much. But I think they should have just made it like the dog. Just gain a random +1 and don't have any charges. But then it's basically a dog. So maybe, it's fine. It's basically the dog but with a twist now. Reliable but limited. It's definitely a good nerf though, because it used to be too strong. It was gaining stats way too easy, especially because if you got one early from a level up or just on the first round it becomes available in the shop, you could just buy one and then continue playing as usual, and while you were just replacing and buying units, the Buffalo was gaining an insane amount of stats. Basically for free, because you were not buying the units to get stats, you were buying units just because they were better for your team. Okay, Caterpillar to no longer transform if killed first. It's a pretty good change. It definitely was really annoying whenever you were able to snipe a Caterpillar and then it still transformed. This is definitely the way it should have always worked, but really glad it's finally how it works now. Pretty good change. Crocodile to start the battle. Deal 8 damage to the last enemy and repeat once, 2 times or 3 times. Okay. This is an amazing change, honestly. It does sound like it's not much of a buff, but it actually is. So it deals the same amount of damage technically to the same unit. So it's 8, 16, 24, basically like it was before. But now if it kills one unit with the first snipe, it goes on to the second one. And if it kills the second one and it's a level 3 unit, then it hits the third one as well. So technically you could kill 3 units with a level 3 Croc. It's really cool, especially because most of the time you were definitely dealing way too much damage to like one single monkey, for example. So if you have a level 2 Croc, you definitely can kill 2 units in the back, which is cool. You can kill a turkey and a fly, or a turkey and a parrot. It's pretty cool. I really like this change. I mean, technically it works against Garlics, but no one uses Garlics in the back to protect their units. They just use melons, and this is better against melons because the first snipe pops the melon and the second one might kill the unit. So sounds good, man. I like it. Okay, we got the Rhino Change. Rhino to knockout, deal 4 damage to the first enemy and double against tier 1 pets. So the damage is the same, but it's double against tier 1 pets. Well, it makes sense, but there's not too many tier 1 pets this late in the game. Rhino is tier 5 and I'm sure you're not gonna encounter too many tier 1 pets, like natural pets, but this is definitely aimed against summoned stuff. Like if the enemy has a level 1 sheep, it's gonna spawn tier 1 rams, so you deal double damage against those. The same goes for a level 1 deal, spawns a tier 1 boss, and for other stuff like that, but no, it's still too unreliable. I think they should have made 5 damage on Rhino, and well, we do not have types of units. It could have dealt double damage against summoned pets, but we do not have types of pets like insects or summons and stuff like that. So I think it's a good change, but it's just not enough to make the Rhino worth using. Okay, it definitely needs some use before we can put a verdict on it, I guess. Let's see. Shark different feints gain +2/+2 instead of +2/+1. Just makes the shark more reliable. Because before, if you got a good shark, it was pretty much a glass cannon. It would have died in one shot, but now it's balanced. And to be honest, I like this change because I really want to see the shark shine, but I've always thought, ever since I started playing this game, I always thought the shark should have a different ability, and that ability would be enemy feints, man, because it just makes sense for the shark to gain stats whenever enemies die, right? Or it could just be on any unit feints, but yeah, I would like it to be on enemy feints, because that would be a pretty good counter to summon units as well, instead of running summon units in your own team. So you can get more friend feint ability bucks, I guess. Yeah, it's a good buff after all. Take it to friend summon, give it +2/+3 instead of +3/+3. Okay, pretty good nerf. Because on level 2 it's +4/+6 instead of +6/+6. On level 3 it is +6/+9. It's a good nerf. I'm not sure if it's good enough to make the summon team unusable, but that is definitely not what we want, right? Summon team, as annoying as it is a really unique and different type of build, which is good for the game. It is definitely healthy to have different types of playstyles, I guess. But it definitely should be as balanced as the other ones. So there you go. This might make it balanced enough. Less attack. Zombie fly from 5/5 to 4/4. Well, pretty cool. Makes it really weak to to the Rhino, which deals 4 damage. There you go. Level 1 fly might spawn level 1 zombie fly, so could have dealt double damage anyway. I don't know. Okay. Poodle to enter and give 1/1 to a friend of each tier. Okay, I've thought about this for some time, and I honestly, I swear, I cannot find a difference between this new ability and the old one. The old one is worded exactly like this. Give, end of turn, give +1/+1 to different tier animals. And now it says give 1/1 to a friend of each tier. I think it works exactly the same, but it definitely should be different, because otherwise they would not have specified this change. And I did not use the Poodle, because I'm not gonna play Expansion Pack 1 on a test build, like I'm not crazy. I was there to test the weekly and the Expansion Pack 2. But yeah, I guess I don't think anyone cares about too much about this change anyway, so yeah, I guess we'll see at some point whenever it becomes available in a weekly pack, because probably not gonna touch Expansion Pack 1 anytime soon. Okay, Octopus Change. Before attack, deal 3, 6, 9 damage to random enemies. Okay, so they made the Octopus have its level 3 ability on level 1 as well, but it's worse, I guess. Only on 2 random enemies instead of the whole team, and 3, 6, 9 damage instead of just 5 damage. I mean, I like it. Level 1 and level 2 Octopus were gaining +8/+8 on level up. But I think I like this. I think it's definitely a little bit weaker, but it's just more fun to use, because Octopus was so hard to level up as well, with no chocolate in the pack, with just a level 3 hatching chick that could help it level up. I think it's a good change, definitely a nerf. Level 3 Octopus was a beast if you managed to get one. And Meatbone to attack for 4 more damage. Well, that honestly sounds like a pretty big deal to me. -1 damage on Meatbone, which pretty much means it's gonna become obsolete like 1 or 2 rounds earlier now. It's really bad. I mean, not saying that Meatbone is really bad, but this is really worrying for the support units, man, because you were basically using Meatbone on the Rabbit, on like all the weak support units that you want to keep for buffs or other stuff, like on a Giraffe, stuff like that, and now they're just gonna become even weaker, man. Well, I think I like it though. Meatbone was definitely way too powerful for around for a tier 2 thingy, food thingy. I think I like it. I think I actually like it. Okay, and that should be for the balance notes. Let's see, we got one more text. You're exceptional for scrolling down this far. This is the biggest update to hit SAP. Had to go back and tweak some of the old pets to balance the new custom and weekly packs. The changes were driven by the community. Yada yada yada. Forgive us for messing with your favorite pets. We know you get really attached to your favorites, but we believe these changes will make the game more healthy. Well, sounds about right. And the next big update will be to translate the game to more languages and add even more pets. Some really cool ideas cooking. Okay, well, I am really happy that we finally got this update on live, because I can finally go for some more achievements, man. This is honestly one of the most exciting things for me, but there is one thing that I'm really sad about. They did remove the achievement percentage. Okay, and for some closing thoughts, I am really happy they pushed this update, and I'm really excited that they actually made some balance changes to the standard units as well. I was honestly expecting they were just gonna release the standard, not the standard, they were just gonna release the expansion pack and just that's it. But I am really happy they made these changes, because I really want to go back to standard, and now it just makes it a more enjoyable experience. I was honestly sick of getting stomped by penguins, bisons, fish, penguins. I've said penguins twice, but still. Yeah, it was a pretty annoying experience, mostly because almost everyone knew how to play and how to get a big level 3 tier 1 and get a fast bison and then go into a penguin. It wasn't too enjoyable. And the ox was annoying, and the badger was just brutal, dying to bees every time. And I think this should be a much enjoyable experience, at least for me now, just because I played this so much. Okay, and honestly, I have some more thoughts about the updates. They're saying the next big update will be to translate the game, which is amazing, and add even more pets, which is cool, because definitely in SCP you definitely get a little bit bored pretty quickly with of the units. Even though there's a lot of combinations and synergies between them, at some point you do get kind of bored of them. So it's good that they want to add even more pets, but I really think this game lacks in how could I put this, like in monetization opportunities, kinda. Like, I would really like to see a battle pass. They could even have a free one or a paid one, or just some weekly missions. Maybe have an account level and you would just gain XP based on how many wins you got, and just a small number to kind of keep track of how much time you've spent playing. Like anything that kind of brings you back. I think there's a lot of opportunities for this game. They could literally have anything. Seasons, battle passes, anything, man. Like, if you have an idea, it's probably gonna work in this game, because right now it is pretty bare bones. But yeah, that should be it. Those are my closing thoughts, and hope everyone is as excited as I am for this new patch. Definitely gonna be playing a lot of expansion pack 2 and weekly.